everyone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. Well, this defense for the Chargers very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. The first carry now. This is Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Kenneth Murray. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Wilson going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Broncos. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, so much for a little 5-yard pass play to your tight end. They made him a deep ball threat there, and it worked out.
Times have changed, haven't they? Those used to be plays that we would clip and save because you didn't see it very often. Big tight end, deep downfield catching a pass. Now it's almost standard. That's a big part of everyone's offense. Get it to those guys because they're not just tight ends anymore. They're athletes.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Now a throw here, hauled in. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. The Chargers at 2-0 here to begin the season. And off to exactly the start you're hoping for. Nothing for the fan base to complain about, at least not yet.
I like the way that you phrased that. Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a long ways to go. But they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way if they stay in that mode throughout the season.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These 2 teams all tied after 1. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd down, Eckler looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Gotta like what we're seeing from him so far in this game. This is the 3rd game of the season. And he's already accumulated an AFC Offensive Player of the Week award in this young year.
Yeah, week 2 was his. The announcement came Wednesday that he got that award. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Hands it off out of the gun. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. Second and 8 coming from the 19. The gun. Here's Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Charger drive about to get going. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10,
try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos will take over here at their own 14-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
This is intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Charger drive about to get going. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. After the turnover, here's Herbert. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught inside the 5. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Herbert going to keep it on the sneak. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. The final shot before the break for Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers! Mike Williams as time expires in the first half. And the Chargers will extend their lead on the final play of the half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
We welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Herbert now. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll find Everett there, complete. And some room to work. And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days that they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football? Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they're a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
On 2nd and goal, Herbert steps away, and he's got it. Touchdown! A 5-yard touchdown. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. A PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. Here's Williams to start the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yards.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Once more, here's Eckler. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. On the screen, this is Eckler. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Going quickly out to the right side. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Eckler now between the tackles. And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about it.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go play action with Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
The one thing I do know, these guys on defense,
They don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wilson. That's going to be caught by Judy. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
This offense on 3rd down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense will take over right at midfield. This is a counter play. Eckler, and he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get him done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. Now he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And he does not get to the 1st down marker as they stop him at the 19. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And they will They'll touch him down, but not before he gets the first. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson with his second touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on the 17-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the Chargers...
Got your best friend hanging out the arm though. Got game like I'm dropping me a console. No, I don't swim, but I give up. Nah, flex. While you there looking the best, feel the get up in your chest while I soak up my success. Getting tokens for your stress. I'll be making all the checks anytime you see me step on a stage. Acting real soft like my skin coming beige. Gonna step out and with him, girl, you fake. Try to get it out, what you handsome. You ain't dance on. Tell your boyfriend, go and put your pants on. Down. The best friend. She went and did the same thing. I'm really mad, but she won't.
I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get up, go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get up, go. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my boy heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, skin is dripping like water. Teaching, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call her. Working big, and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he leave know it, Mr. Know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the milk before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do. I'm the best, I'm the best. And I got it, and I got it. can't make the channel froze. I'm really who the panel chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name her, you got a better flow, but she can hang it up just like a telephone. Never do. Cost 10K to let it come see it. Me and them, yeah, make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new in the machine out. Jewelry be caught like the temperature zero. I'm the hardest, they call me the hero. Heavy nigga, then they know what I be on. I'm the best, I'm the best.